The CCR2216 comes with two M2 slots for SATA SSD drives, and I've installed two of equal size. How about we set up RAID on it? With the ROS package, we can do all of the commonly used RAID types. RAID 2 and 3 aren't available as they are more or less obsolete. But believe it or not, you could set up RAID 5 and 6 and nested RAID if you want. And you're not even limited to the physical disks on your router. If you have a network of devices with storage available on them, you might be able to add their storage as block devices on your router and then establish RAID from the router. That's pretty crazy, but it's also one of the perks of using MikroTik. We let you do what you want. Now, if you're going to play around with this network-based RAID idea, then I recommend you watch the video on NVMe over TCP, as it is probably the best way for you to take those disks from your network and add them to your router. Now, when it comes to the RAID configuration, it is basically the same two-step process regardless of what disks you're using and what RAID type you are setting up. First, you define your new RAID with a single CLI command, and then the other step is to go through your disks and add them to your RAID one by one. In the case of nested RAID, it is the same, except instead of adding disks, you're adding existing RAIDs. Alright, let's do RAID 1 on this bad boy. As you can see, I only have my two SATA disks right now. Let's add disk type RAID and specify the RAID type to 1. I need to set the device count to 2, and I will name it my RAID. Just like that. Then I need to set SATA1 RAID master property to my RAID and RAID role to 0 for this first disk. Then on the second disk we do the same, but increment the RAID role by 1. If we had a lot of disks, we could keep going, role 2, role 3, and so on. The idea here is that you can specifically determine each disk's job, so you could, for example, balance out your reliable disks with less reliable ones. And of course, if one disk fails in a failure-tolerant setup, you could then be able to replace it using this role property. Anyway, the RAID is ready, and we can begin using it just like a normal disk. You will probably want a file system, so just format it to your favorite kind right away. Now we have a fully functioning RAID 1. It simply duplicates the same data on both disks, and its size will always be equal to the smallest disk used. If instead of creating redundancy or improving performance, you would like to simply join your disks into one big disk, we also have the RAID type linear. We can actually change our current RAID type to linear right now. Just keep in mind that this will erase any data we might have saved on our current RAID, including the file system we just created. So we will need to format it again, but you can see that the linear RAID is about twice the size as our RAID 1. Thank you for watching and take care.